Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a huge topic, how AI is completely reshaping the world of work, and more importantly, what you can actually do to find your way in this new era.
Okay, let's just get right to it. The big one. The question literally everyone is asking. It seems like it should be a simple yes or no answer, right? But the reality? Well, it's a lot more fascinating. And frankly, more optimistic than you might think.
So let's kick things off with a number that'll probably surprise you. The World Economic Forum actually projects a net increase of 78 million jobs around the globe by 2030, and that's all because of AI. Yeah, you heard me right, an increase. But, a single number like that never tells the whole story. What we're really looking at isn't just jobs disappearing. It's a massive, tectonic shift, a complete reshuffling of the entire job market. It's less about job loss and way more about job change.
Here's the breakdown. The forecast shows that, around 92 million jobs might get automated away. But, and this is a big but, a staggering 170 million new jobs are expected to be created. The math is definitely positive. It's the transition. That's the hard part.
So what's the catch? Well, here it is. The skills we have for the jobs that are fading away are not the same skills we need for the new jobs that are popping up. This huge gap is called the skills mismatch, and it's pretty much the central puzzle we all have to figure out.
So what does this skills mismatch actually look like in the real world? Well, on one hand, you have routine, predictable tasks. Think repetitive data entry, basic customer service calls, that kind of thing. They're being automated. And on the other hand, demand is just exploding for super specialized roles like AI and machine learning specialists or big data experts.
And this whole reshuffle isn't going to hit everyone equally, not at all. Analysis from the OECD warns that the impact could be way bigger in rural areas. Why? Because they often have less access to these new kinds of jobs and the training you need for them, which could make the digital divide even worse.
So the real question isn't if things are changing. They are. The question is, how are you going to adapt? And the solution, we think, lies in developing what we're calling a two-sword skill set. This is your strategy to really thrive in this new world, not just get by.
We're borrowing this idea from the Japanese concept of nitoryu, or two-sword style. For us, it means you need to master two different but totally complementary skill sets. The first is learning how to work with AI as a partner, and the second is doubling down on all the uniquely human skills that a machine just can't touch. All right, sword number one, AI collaboration. This isn't just about knowing which buttons to click. It's about data literacy, being able to read data, question it, even argue with it. It's about prompt engineering, which is really just the art of learning how to talk to an AI to get what you want. And, this one's critical, it's about understanding AI ethics. And just how urgent is this? Well, check this out. A survey of employees in Japan found this massive data literacy gap. Only 5%, just 5%, felt confident in their data skills. Now, you could see that as a threat, but it's actually a huge opportunity for anyone who's willing to learn this stuff. And this right here is exactly why ethics is part of that first sword. You might remember the story about an Amazon hiring tool that basically taught itself to be biased against women. Why? Because it was trained on old, male-dominated hiring data. It's a perfect example that technology is never neutral. You absolutely need human oversight. Now for your second sword. This one's all about leaning into what makes us human. We're talking about creativity, using AI not to replace your ideas, but as a partner to spark new ones. It's about critical thinking, being the human fact-checker for what the AI gives you. And of course, it's empathy and collaboration, the stuff that actually holds a team together. Think about it this way. As AI gets better and better at all the logical, repetitive stuff, it actually frees us up to do what we do best. Our judgment, our creativity, our ability to connect with other people. Suddenly, those become our most valuable assets. They're what will set us apart. So getting this two-sword skill set isn't something you just do once and you're done. No way. It requires us to completely rethink how we learn, to build a whole new ecosystem that supports growing and learning throughout our entire lives. And this change has to happen on every level. We're seeing it at the corporate level, with big companies like Hitachi and Daikin pouring money into reskilling their workforce. It has to happen at the individual level, with all of us taking charge of our own learning. And it has to start way earlier, right in our schools. This is the core of it right here. For centuries, school has been about consuming knowledge, basically memorizing facts. But in a world where an AI can answer any factual question in a split second,
The most important skill is learning how to ask the right questions, learning how to create something new.
A big part of that is a new take on digital ethics. We have to move away from this old defensive model of just saying, don't do this, don't click that. The new goal has to be teaching active digital citizenship. How do you act responsibly and ethically online? Using real-world debates like the one around AI-generated art is a perfect way to build that critical thinking muscle.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. What does this all mean for you, today, right now? Let's pull it all together into a simple, practical action plan. Think of it as your personal compass for the next decade. This table right here, this is your compass. Look, it's not about becoming a programmer overnight. It's about taking small, consistent steps. Sign up for an online data literacy course. Play around with ChatGPT every single day to get better at prompting. Make it a habit to always fact-check what an AI tells you. Use it as a brainstorming buddy. These are the practical steps you can take to start building that two-sword skill set today.
In the end, AI isn't some tidal wave that's just happening to us. It's an incredibly powerful tool that's being put into our hands. So this isn't a story about humans being replaced. It's a story about humans being augmented. The future of work isn't set in stone. It's going to be built by how we all choose to adapt, to learn, and to create with these amazing new tools. The compass is in your hands,